Hey everybody, welcome to Candy Coated Conversations with your girl Candace here, and joined as always by my co-host Tamika Heavy on the Sky. How are you doing this evening, Tamika?
Hi, Candy. Hi, everybody.
Hey, girl. Look, I know you working hard, but you know what? We're gonna make it through the day. Let's see who's in here. Early burden. Who's early burden? Let's see. Sharon is early burden. What's going on, Sharon?
Hey, Miss
Sharon
Sharon.
said, damn, life be life. And what's going on? Hey, Mimi, how are you this evening?
Hey,
Hope the
Mimi.
evening finds you well. Look, I know I couldn't. Look, y'all know I just got off. So I'm so glad to see Friday, to have some relaxation and everything. And I wish the same for you guys. Hope you guys are making it through your work weeks. I know everybody has different schedules. Hey, Cassandra, glad to see you here because we definitely need you in
Hey,
on this
Cassandra.
conversation while we try to do a little look. I ain't saying it's gonna be no deep dive into Jag, just a little bit of a dig to see what's because I know don't know too much about this lady, to be quite honest with you. Hey Denicia, how are you this evening? Glad to see you back.
Hey, Miss Scott.
Oh my goodness, Sharon, you said good. This popcorn is pimping me out. Look, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If you're
Yes.
taking
Yes,
orders
ma'am.
for popcorn, okay. So let me know right now. Do you need us to start right now with the Jaguar part, or is it okay to do it after Hot Topics? Because I know you're trying to go somewhere. Because we definitely can start with her first. Let me know, Cassandra. Hey, Tita Weta. How are you? Hey,
Hey,
Daniel.
Tita.
Really?
Hey,
Happy Friday.
Daniel.
Okay, so we're gonna go after hot topics. So you guys, okay, Sharon is getting ready for an event tomorrow. You guys, let's send Sharon our blessings that she has a great event and sells out of everything that she brings to the event. Every flavor. Oh, and I meant to tell you another good flavor I like is the butter rum. I meant to tell you that. I said it in Tamika's chat, but I don't know if you heard me, girl. But the butter rum is good too. Try that one. I think there's core flavors that probably should always be on hand, and I think that that is one of them. The butter rum should be a core flavor. hmm Okay, y'all, let's get started. We're gonna jump right into our hot topics and see what is going on around here. And I think just to start off, let me go straight into my inbox because I get sent a lot of great information, and I appreciate you guys sending things to me. But I want to start with this that Katina sent me because I felt this was very important for us to go into because everything's going on, and the ramifications that it could have with everything involving Mr. Diddy. So hold on, something. Okay, let me start over again here. Because there was a new development. And honestly, I want to read and look into this to see who all is going to be affected by this, you guys. It says breaking news: Howard University revokes Diddy's honorary doctorate degree and agrees to cut all financial ties, including his scholarship program. Now, I really wanted to dig into this, you guys, because with them doing this, this actually could leave a lot of students in a bind, especially if they, put in for any type of scholarships that he was, had forth, and they were counting on that money. So let's just take a look and see what is going on here. It says the Howard University Board of Trustees voted unanimously today to accept the return by Mr. Sean Combs of the honorary degree conferred upon him in 2014. This acceptance revokes all honors and privileges associated with the degree. Accordingly, the board has directed that his name be removed from all documents listing honorary degree recipients of Howard University. Mr. Combs' behavior, as captured in a recently released video, is so fundamentally incompatible with Howard University's core values and beliefs that he is deemed no longer worthy to hold the institution's highest honor. Amen. It says the university is unwavering in its opposition to all acts of interpersonal violence. The board has also directed the university administration to immediately take the following actions. Ooh, terminate a 2016 gift agreement with Mr. Combs, disband the scholarship program in his name, return his $1 million contribution, and terminate a 2023 pledge agreement with the Sean Combs Foundation. No payments towards the 1 million pledge have been due or made by the Sean Combs Foundation as of this date. Therefore, no funds are due to be returned under the 2023 pledge agreement. So, okay. So yeah, you just like someone here said, damn, you know it's bad when they stop taking your money. Someone else reported and stated he single-handedly ruined his own legacy. Somebody said the non-existent scholarship funds. Sincerely, a Howard Stewart student. So not quite sure what was going on there, but my goodness. Now some of these that we did yesterday. So thank you so much, Katina. And let's see. Tita has some messages.
Look at Miss Scott. She said it's unfortunate his dirty deeds will affect college students who are in need of scholarship money.
Yes, and that's the sad thing about it. That's what I was really trying to get at, digging a little deeper into that. I was like, dang, you have kids that are setting up their, how they're going to pay for their classes and things like that in the summer or come fall. They put in for these scholarships early because it's hard out here, especially for the diligent kids who need these opportunities. They don't have, they're not trust fund babies. They need somebody, help paying for school and things like that. So for them to be dependent on these funds, I don't know how good he was with paying them anyways, but that's really messed up. Like he messed a lot of people up with his bad behavior. So hey Katina, hey Coco.
Hey Katrina, hey Coco.
So you are definitely right, Denicia. He messed up a lot of kids, their plans, I'm sure. So let me see what Tita had sent over. Tita laughing at some of my stories. Now this one right here, I was so disgusted, you guys. So it says Antonio Brown says he needs a woman like Krishan Rock. But let's see what he said with that. What exactly he said. When he said that, this is what he said, you guys. It says Antonio Brown reacts to Krishan Rock's latest IG live and says he needs a woman like her. So this is what he said, you guys. I need a dumb ass B like this. Not gonna lie. What kind of man is this? I mean, I think he's already shown himself plenty of times. But if this man has any supporters, I don't know what type of women they are. I don't know what type of woman would support this type of behavior from a man. So, I mean, and I think he's just saying that in reference to her saying that she's paying his $15, 15K a month bill for his restaurant that's not even open and things like that. So basically, he just wants to pile on her, and degrade her. So, I mean, you definitely need to pay attention to a man, who speaks to women like that. So, this is something, you guys. It says a new sexually transmitted fungal infection detected in New York, the first case in the United States. So look, y'all better come on here. It says healthcare providers should be aware that a trichophyton mentogrophites type is the latest in a group of, and I know I butchered that. I'm telling y'all, I butchered that. Is the latest in a group of severe skin infections to have now reached the United States. Somebody in the comments said it's the rats, right? Gotta be them rats. It ain't the rats, y'all. They saying it's a sexually transmitted disease. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, y'all. You don't know what's out here in these streets, Somebody said, let me get my rose and stay in the house. Somebody else said, damn, New York got too much going on. What's the ETA on the spider? Okay. Somebody else said, it's always during election year. Always. Okay. All right. So, y'all be careful about that, And let's see. This one right here we talked about. Okay. So now let's just go here and let me just go to Shade Room straight on and see if there's anything we're possibly missing. Um, do we want to hear about Tiffany Haddish shooting her shot at? Let's play it. Let's play it. Tiffany Haddish talks about shooting her shot at Leonardo DiCaprio and Lenny Kravitz.
When I first met him, I told him, I want to, but
Right.
only if you are your character out of What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Oh, get out of here. You didn't say that.
I heard Robin laughing. Robin, when you get
She
down with
loves
that,
it.
Robin?
He was cute even then as Arnie.
How do,
I like the Miss Arnie. I like my man with a little bit of a disability.
Lenny Kravitz says he claims he hasn't had sex with a woman in 9 years. And I'm like, that's a waste of time.
Well, now look, I just got his phone number. I'm trying to decide, do I call him and ask him about this? Because this might be a match made in heaven.
Can you imagine if you hook up with Lenny Kravitz? I mean, that dude is a handsome guy. I mean,
the ancestors would appreciate it, I'm sure.
didn't you try to f Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, I'm still working on that. I think
Why are you?
And I still wish I hadn't played that. Anyways, so it says positive images. Jay-Z's Roc Nation plans to sponsor 300 million towards the education of Philadelphia students. Let's see what this is all about, y'all. All for some positivity. It says today, Jay-Z's Roc Nation announced a proposal for an educational campaign in Philadelphia. The campaign is set to encourage students to explore educational opportunities, including an incentive of a $300 million sponsorship for students grades K through 12 to attend any private school in the city. Roc Nation will work in partnership with the city to provide funding through the Pennsylvania Award for Student Success PASS program. It says in 2023, a proposal introducing PASS was set to relieve financial barriers for students of lower income families through the funding of scholarships and resources. According to NBC Philadelphia, Roc Nation plans to host a series of events to further educate the city on the Senate Bill 757, which will include further detailing of PASS and how students can utilize those resources to their advantage. The eligibility requirements for this program depend on household income and will in no way impact the budget of the city's public schools. It says Managing Director of Philanthropy at Roc Nation, Dania Diaz, states impact starts with the students and with awareness. We want to empower the youth and families with the knowledge to pursue their scholastic dreams, make their voices heard, and become the leaders of tomorrow. Now, look, let me ask y'all this. I ain't trying to be negative on something positive, but with everything going on, look, I got to keep it real and ask. Do y'all think that this is coming at the right time with everything going on with Diddy and him trying to make himself, real, positive?
Make him look like he in the light, bring light to the situation on his name, because everybody say Jay-Z next, Jay-Z next. Jay-Z like,
Exactly.
let me
That's
drop
why
a
I'm like,
stack.
dang. Yeah,
Let me drop
let
a
me drop
few
a quick
stacks.
300 milli to keep my
Yes.
name on the good side of the law.
They
So
said
I
the
don't
kids
know.
is our future.
Yes. So I don't know. It made me wonder, okay, is this just a ploy? We gonna see. We gonna see, Jay-Z. So let's see. Hmm. It says third party presidential candidate Robert Kennedy faces backlash after continuously accusing two innocent men of unaliving 15-year-old Martha Moxley in efforts to clear his cousin's name. What is this about, y'all? It says independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. might have gotten caught up in a pickle. As the candidate runs on his platform of advocating for criminal justice reform in his efforts to appeal to Black voters, According to the griot, critics have pointed out that for years, RFK Jr. has accused two innocent men, a black man and another individual, of committing the unaliving that his white cousin was convicted of. In 2016, Kennedy authored Framed, arguing for the innocence of his cousin, Michael Skakel, who was convicted of the 1975 unaliving of Martha Moxley. Skakel was found guilty based on evidence linking a golf club from his home to the crime scene. However, he was released in 2013 after a judge determined he hadn't received proper legal representation. So keep in mind, this man is released, Okay. So he said, I am certain they did it, Kennedy told the New York Times in 2016. Despite the claims he made in his book, there were holes in Kennedy's theory that Hashbrook and Tinsley were responsible for Moxley's unaliving. According to the 2007 court document of RFK Jr.'s testimony, Kennedy said Hashbrook and Tinsley would probably live short lives and end up in prison. So, yeah. Okay, there's that. Now, what's she talking about? Kylie here. It says Kylie Jenner coming through with the throwback vibes. Are y'all missing the King Kylie era? Why was they calling her King Kylie? Not quite sure. Hmm. I guess she must have been out of spotlight, for a little too long. Y'all know she been over there. Kylie, enjoy your white guy over there. You really haven't been missed in the black community. It's okay just to stay doing what you've been doing all these months. That's okay. All right. So now let's skip over here and see what's going on. We're gonna get through these quickly so we can get to our topic of the night. I know Cassandra has some things going on. She's trying to start her weekend off fishing. Now look at this. Now y'all got to think about this, and I want to know. Put it in the chat. I want you to put a one in the chat if you say hell yeah, I'm eating my food. I was what DoorDash had me wait 30 minutes for that food. Yes, I'm eating it. Or put a two in the chat if you like hell no, I ain't touching that, and give me my money back. So it says, excuse me, a DoorDash driver uses racial slur while delivering a black woman's order. Here's your food, N word. Now listen to this, y'all.
Oh, we don't see anything. Hey, Miss Bessie.
Hey, Miss Bestie, look, that ring cam gonna get you caught up every time. I'm gonna let it play again too, just to make sure y'all heard. What's wrong with people? Okay, so here's my question. Does I don't know, has anybody in the chat, has anybody in the chat here right now done DoorDash? I want hey Miss Real, hey Bessie, I want to know how do you even hey voracious one, how do you even know the race of the person you're delivering to? And that's right, absolutely. Let me put my twos in the chat because no, I do not want nothing that drove in that man's car because uh, for some reason or another, the man, how did how, any idea? How does he even know the race of the person he's delivering the food to? Does anyone in the chat know?
Wait, can you say that again, Candy? I'm sorry, I had a call.
How would the person, how would this Door Dasher even know the race of the person he's delivering the food to?
Because their profile picture, like how they have like their profile picture in the look, like in the profile, just like we. Okay, so just like you could order groceries and then you like to see who's dropping your groceries off. Like that there's a white man, older white man dropping your stuff off and he's driving like a silver car. It's the same thing with DoorDash.
I never knew. I never knew. I only do DoorDash every once in a while because most of the time when I do order something, it's usually only Chick-fil-A and I order directly from Chick-fil-A. Like literally it's up the street from my house and they have a fleet of their own drivers. So you always can choose either to use DoorDash or direct from Chick-fil-A. And I always do direct from Chick-fil-A. Hey, Miss Deal, so glad you
Hey
caught us
Miss Hey
tonight.
Miss D-Rail. Oh, and
Yes.
I do it too. I'm gonna get my money back.
Yes, I'm getting my money back. I'm not paying for that. I don't know what that person did to my food. They didn't spat on it, anything. Let me see what these comments. Somebody said he did something to that food. I wouldn't eat it. Somebody else said, imagine being a DoorDash driver and treating someone like they're beneath you. Somebody said DoorDash will be paying for every order for the next 3 years on top of the settlement money for emotional distress. Let's see. I don't know if there's any repercussions other than DoorDash letting him go, but aren't these people like considered independent contractors or something like that? I believe somebody said, imagine making 325 to deliver someone's food and have the nerve to think they're beneath you. Somebody else said racism never went away; it just tries to hide itself more now. That's right. So yeah, no, definitely not eating that food. Definitely not. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything that interesting to be real honest with you. So, oh, let's see here. It says, "Oops, Nelly checks a fan for saying he and Ashanti aren't a Haynes family since he hasn't married her. Definitely the Haynes family. Y'all think they married undercover? Coco, I know you be on it. You be on it, Coco, talking about Ashanti spinning the block. You think they really married? So this is what the fan said, but it's not the Haynes family. It's definitely the Haynes Douglas family. I know y'all gonna be mad, but be mad at him for not marrying her after all this time and giving her his last name. He gonna say, it's definitely the Haynes family, lol. So do y'all think Ashanti and him are really married?
No, because if they was, they would have announced it.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, honestly, and look, I told y'all, Coco. Look, Coco, the first comment I see, I knew Coco was gonna be on top of this. But honestly, I don't think that they're really married. I don't. I think they've probably talked about it, and maybe they will after the baby gets here and they get settled into their own little routine and everything like that. But I don't really think that they're married. I don't think so. But and if they are or aren't, that's their business. Babies
Hey,
coming
witches
either way.
brew. Hey,
Hey, witches
Rewind.
brew. Okay. Yes, hello, candy canes. So nothing too much here. So we can get off of here. And we got one last one before we get into our topic. Let's see. Hmm, what's going on with people? What is going on with people? It says Kodak Black's baby mama, Miranda, then got herself locked up for burglary with assault and battery and grand theft. Ugh. Her
Hey,
mugshot.
Robinson.
Hey, Ravishing Rashonda. Now, somebody said mugshot on point, though. Somebody else said so she can fight, sell houses, and rap. So, okay. That's a little wild. And is she the mother of his little baby daughter, his youngest baby? That's crazy, too. All right. Okay. That's pretty much the gist of Hot Topics, you guys. So let me get this off my screen and let's get into our topic today. Now, I wanted to, before Cassandra comes up, because Cassandra is going to give us the current rundown on what's going on with Jaguar Wright. But here, this is what I wanted to say to start. Now, because oddly enough, she's come up in the past couple shows, and that's why, it was at the last minute. We were about to end anyways this morning, so I said let's save it for tonight. And I said, let's really talk about Jaguar Wright, who she is, because some people are not that familiar with her. Like literally, I have fleeting knowledge from her, like back in the 2000s. I heard the name. She was a singer and things of this nature. And I think she had a nice bit of popularity and things like that. I think she was kind of when the whole neo soul thing was coming up and things like that. But I really didn't know too much about her. Then I became familiar with her a little, just with her dealings more so than really her past and what she had been into. But I just kind of got currently familiar with her again from another platform. But I will say at this point, my introduction to her was just like, okay, she's all over YouTube, you know, um, she's kind of known for honestly being a little negative, arguing with people. She comes on basically kind of shaking her cup to a lot of platforms. She either wants you to pay her to come on to talk, or she's gonna, solicit some donations, which is no big deal because it's definitely up to whoever. If you want to pay her, for any, there's literally nothing wrong with that. But you know, it also makes me wonder how good your information is because you literally have been on the outside of the music industry, in my opinion, looking in for a very long time, a very, very long time. So while, and I've said this before, while I believe in prior things in the celebrity space back in the 2000s and things like that, I think a lot of information she was generally privy to. When I hear her comment on these new people, Glorilla, Megan the Stallion, I'm like, how are you even in these young people's space still to know what's going on? Now, granted, because I'm giving the benefit of the doubt with my assessment, but I don't think you're that well connected that you know what's going on with all these celebrities, like new celebrities. How are you speaking on what's going on with new celebrities? I don't think your connections are that deep that you really are connected to people that have um one-on-one involvement, with these current celebrities that you always always are able to comment on. That I just don't buy. I just don't buy. Give me just a second, you guys. I'm about to drop the link for Cassandra. So there's my opinion. Of course, I could be absolutely wrong. She may have some long ties into the music industry and what's going on with all these people. But I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I think that at this point, you're doing anything just to keep your name out there, keep your name in the algorithm, I mean, I've heard certain things that, arguing with this lady, kind of get you seen or whatever, may get you seen and things like that. Look, hope she don't come over here today because look, I ain't in the mood to argue with nobody. Got enough shit going on. Got keeping track of enough bullshit. But yeah. So I'm not sure, but I'm just not buying it. I am not buying it. So let's I dropped the link for Cassandra's gonna come up as our special guest tonight and present us with some information. But let's give a quick breakdown of who she is. So states, look, birthday May 17th, 1977. So they're saying she's 47 years old. Her real name is Jacqueline Suzette Wright Johnson, an American songwriter and singer. She has released 5 studio albums and is part of the OK Player Collective. Wright has performed and collaborated alongside rap acts such as The Roots, Jay-Z, and Black Alicious. Never heard of Black Alicious. She was born and raised in New Jersey before moving to Philadelphia at around 12 years old. Now, I'm not going to really bore you guys with everything that they have here on her. It's just a quick little discography of her work. She came on the scene. It looks like she came on the scene in 1998 via the group The Roots. And I'm sure a lot of the old school people are familiar with The Roots, and that led to her going on tour with them. Of course, a lot of people know her from singing backup for Jay-Z with his song Cry. Um, and like I said, she did have two albums, Denials, Delusions, and Decisions, and Divorcing Neo to Marry Soul, which came out. Well, the first one came out in 2002. She had another release in 2005. Um, she also had something and that was also recorded an album titled "And Your Point Is," which was due to release in 2003 on MCA before the label folded. So yeah. So it looks like, just from what I can see, you guys, her latest project, it looks like she had something, a 5-song EP that dropped in 2019, and that was on Bandcamp. Which, if you guys aren't familiar with Bandcamp, that's somewhere online where basically, if you're an independent or up and coming artist, you can load your own music there. So it looks like she was trying to, go the indie route with that. So, and it looks like she sprang back again in 2022, coming out, making headlines when she did an interview speaking on the dark side of the music industry. Because, I definitely wanted to go through her albums and the time frames, because I definitely get the feeling that this is a woman um, who entered the music industry, and I'm not quite clear on what went wrong for her in the music industry. If you're aware and please feel free to hit that link to come on up, because I just feel like Jaguar Wright is striking me as someone that does have some inside knowledge at that time about what was going on with her, the dark side of the industry, and things of that nature. And I think she's just very disillusioned with it and wanting to expose because of perhaps where her career is now. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, if I'm saying the wrong thing, I'm always willing to have an opposing view. But I think there's a definite, um, it's definitely giving bitter to me. And the thing of it is, when I say that, that's not always negative. Because if things happen to you that will leave you bitter, you're justified to feel that way. You guys get what I'm saying? If there are things that happen to you as an innocent person just wanting to sing and showcase your talent, and bad things happen to you in that space, you're entitled to be bitter. But I'm also a person that if something was done directly to you, definitely I want to hear about it. But I don't really want to hear about you stretching the truth about people that you really truly don't know much about or what's happening with them. So, okay, with that
Hi,
being said,
Cassandra.
welcome, Cassandra. Welcome to the stage.
Hey.
Now, Cassandra, go ahead and introduce, because we can definitely go back to the other things going on with Jaguar. But let's get into what recently happened. Do you want to tell us about this?
I surely do. And thank you for inviting me on the platform, ladies.
Of course.
Okay. So in my research, I I was like you, Candy. At first, I had an outlook of Jaguar like, okay, she's all over the place. Something got to be wrong with her. And
Hmm.
just in my little bit of researching, I actually feel sorry for her. And
Wow.
you guys are going to see why I'm not going to be long because I'm about to go fishing. So y'all know I love fishing. But I would like to share my screen if that's okay with you.
Of course.
Okay,
And
let
Denise says, I think Jag ruined her reputation because she added in with the truth. Yeah, it's like I think she knows certain things, but when you add in, then you just telling stories, and then I got to take you as a liar. when you add in just to keep going. So go ahead, share your screen, Cassandra.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so everybody has seen this photo. So I am honestly, I don't know exactly why she was picked up, but whatever she did, if you guys can read at the, well, it says the charge is the theft of property. And whatever it was, I'm assuming that it was more than 30K, but less than 150K. It was considered a third-degree felony, and she was picked up in Grand Prairie, Texas. And if you're familiar with like the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex, she was in Grand Prairie, which is about a good 30 minutes away from Dallas, like pretty much anywhere in the DFW. But it shows that Garland is the one who took her in. So I don't know or have concrete evidence as to why she was picked up. All we know right now is theft. All this, she got picked up for the now overdue U-Haul truck. It could possibly be, but I'm going to be frank with you guys. I've searched and I have not found anything about that. Now, if there is evidence, because I don't trust these blogs or, for me, I don't think that there are reliable resources unless I'm going on to Dallas County and actually reading the complaint to see exactly why she was picked up. So for me, I can't say that it was a U-Haul. If that's what they're putting out there, that's cool. But for me, all I know is theft of property. That's number one.
Okay,
Now,
let me ask a quick question, Cassandra, and maybe
uh-huh.
you know. I may be asking and you don't know, but just in case you do. Now, what is she doing in Dallas? Is she living there now?
No, she lives in Dallas. Like I
Oh,
first of
okay.
all,
I didn't realize she lived in Texas. I did not
yeah,
realize she lived in Texas.
me
Okay.
neither. I didn't even know who she was until she was introduced on the other platforms. So I had no clue who she was. And then somebody said she lived. Oh no, I think she said that she lived out here, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, so she does live out here. Um, and so by her doing the theft, so let's say if it was the U-Haul, she didn't return the U-Haul, and that probably is truth, and you guys will understand why in a couple of seconds. But because she did this, that violated the charge that she already had, and now people are like, okay, what did she do? So back in 2013, not 2013, 2023, she was charged with resisting arrest and search or transport, which means that the officer tried to arrest her and put her in the car and she resisted. But the main thing was where is it at? Okay, so the main charge, which is a felony, a third degree felony, is the obstruction or retaliation. So what did she do? She pretty much cussed out a police officer in DeSoto, and because that's where she was currently living. And she, as you can see, she verbally threatened to assault him and unalive him. Now you're
Oh
talking
wow.
to a police officer. So this happened
Are
back
those
in
considered like
pretty
terroristic
much. That's
threats?
why it's
Okay.
a third degree felony.
Okay.
So she threatened this officer. She resisted arrest. So back in 2023, this is what she was charged with. This was the indictment statement. Um, so kind of going into that, everybody knows once you go to court, the judge signs an order. There are certain things and conditions and bonds that you have to pretty much live by, so that way you don't get caught up in the system again. And pretty much she already violated this, where it says remain arrest free pending deposition of current offense. So that is why, so not only did she get charged for the theft, now she has violated the order that was already in place. So that's how she ended up in jail. Now, the sad part is, as I was reading all of this stuff, I noticed that they ordered her for a mental illness examination.
Oh wow. Okay.
And yeah, this blew my, well, it kind of didn't blow my mind, but I was just like, okay, this kind of, I don't want to say confirms what I've been thinking about. But I see it in my sister. My sister does suffer from mental health issues. So I kind of see it in Jaguar. So it's just like, okay, y'all are all over the place, but it's something very different about her. So in addition to the order that they put out for her, they also ordered the examination. Now, they have not updated this only because I don't know if they are able to, if they were able at the time to get in contact with her. And why I say that is because when that charge happened, they had to, she was homeless. So anytime you file a case or you're charged with a criminal charge and you don't have an attorney, everybody knows that you have to get a court-appointed attorney. But you have to pretty much advise your conditions, like what is keeping you from not being able to obtain counsel. And so one thing I seen was that she marked down that she was homeless. So that could be very well why she did not return the U-Haul truck, was because she didn't have anywhere to stay. So she was staying in DeSoto, and now you're in Grand Prairie. That's 30 minutes away. But, between 2023 to now, it's like, okay, where are you living?
You know what, Cassandra,
Mm-hmm.
and anybody listening, and hey, Trinity Chan, welcome. When I heard that it was that she didn't return a U-Haul, that was my first thought, is that possibly she was living in that U-Haul.
Yes, ma'am. And I
That
think,
was my first thought, because who does that? That's not something that a lot of people do. But I do know there are parts of the homeless population who see that as a viable option to stay. And, let's be for real. Let's be for real. The way these prices are here, it if you're really going through it, that is a way to have a roof over your head, or be contained somewhere, so to speak. We have people doing all sorts of things, living in storage facilities, living in their cars, or a U-Haul. And that was my first thought when I heard that. Not saying it's true though, you guys. Everything is alleged, but that was my first thought. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, no, and you know what? I didn't even put two together till I started reading this. But I agree with you. And then so you have all that happening. She doesn't have now, and it makes sense because when I search for her name, there's a lot of evictions. So I'm assuming she was evicted out of the apartment that she had. And all, the U-Haul has all of her belongings. But then I go and look on the family law side of things, and I see that I didn't even know the girl was married. So,
Yes,
well,
she is
yeah,
married.
I didn't know she was married. Yeah, but now her husband filed for divorce. I want to say last month. So this is the divorce case. Now they're unable to serve her because she has no place to stay. That you have to serve them either at their home or their place of work, but they're unable to serve her only because she's suffering from homelessness. And
I wonder if her husband is from Texas. So
I
interested in
don't
how
know.
she got to Texas.
Yeah, because I seen that she's from Philly, and I'm like, okay, well, Texas, why you chose Texas? But yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, so that is that. I'm gonna stop screen. But yeah, so that's all that I have. So now that I am looking at everything, I think she does suffer from mental illness allegedly. And you piling on, and it explains why she goes on different platforms asking for cash and stuff, because look at her living situation. She does not
Yeah.
have anywhere to stay. These court documents, it says homelessness. She does not have an address.
Let me ask you
She
this,
does
if you
not.
have any knowledge of this, Cassandra. Now, you stated in that court order, she was ordered to go under what, psychological evaluation, so they could
Uh-huh.
see if something was going on her. How does that work when that's ordered? Is it just when they catch up with you? Like, how is that implemented? How is that enforced?
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. The thing is, she was supposed to be checking in with her community supervisor, so whoever that is. And normally, what they do, how can I say this? It's the responsibility of the defendant, like if they have classes or anything of that nature, to actually go out and call these people and see if they can get these services. Now, as far as the mental health, I don't know quite sure, but I am thinking that if there was an order in place, and that would be something that her community supervisor would say, hey, here's a list of providers that offer these services. You need to go get checked out immediately, because they gave her a specific time period to get this done. But because they could never catch up with her, then that she couldn't get it done. Now, I looked her up in the court system. I don't see her name anywhere. So I'm thinking she bonded out.
Yeah, they
I
say
have
that
no
she is out now. They say she is out now, that she was
Yeah,
released.
yeah. So I just hope she has to abide by that order. And she does have a court appointed attorney. So it's really hard, because they really can't help, make you do anything, because they don't even really work on their cases. That's just a whole different story. So her court appointed attorney seems like he ain't doing his job. But um yeah, she's supposed to either check in, or her community supervisor is supposed to make sure that she gets that done, because that is going to help her case. At the end of the day, they had a hearing today, if I'm not mistaken, but they haven't updated, so I don't know exactly what was said. And I'm going to keep an outlook on, a outlook on that, so that way I can keep you guys updated. But as far as the
Okay.
mental health thing, the order, that's just something that has to get done. Like with Krishan, like Krishan, there's an order out there for you that you have to go to Oklahoma and do your time, because that's what the judge said. So same with Jaguar White. There's an order for you to get an examination, because that can hinder her case. Her case is still open. That felony case is
Hmm.
still open. And once they and they look back over everything, I mean, it's going to be up to the judge to say, okay, we're going to extend you and give you more time to get this evaluation done, or we're just going to, give you the 2 to 10 years for this violation. Because threatening a police officer, you're going to do some time.
Yeah, that's serious business right there. You just can't just make those type of threats to an officer. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Thank you so much for giving us this update. And if you have any other updates, please come so we can do an update on this, for everyone to know what's going on. We have a lot of comments in here, but you guys, I have to stop the press. This is totally off topic, but I didn't realize this during the show the other night. And so, of course, I always want to thank you, everybody. And thank you, Go Butter, for the Cash App. I'm sorry I'm so late extending that thank you, but I didn't see it until the show was over. And then it was on my mind, but I remembered just now. Thank you so much. You are appreciated. So any last thoughts on this? I know you're trying to go fishing, Cassandra. Or quickly, you guys, did you guys have any comments for Cassandra before she gets out of here and goes fishing? Put it in the chat real quick, you guys. If you have anything for Cassandra. So while you guys are thinking about that, I'm gonna go through a few of the comments. So Tita is saying, yeah, I just found out too that she stayed here. Bessie Diener said, yeah, she was on live when she did that. And that was that going back and forth with that police officer, I believe. Mimi says she was on a live inside the precinct cussing out and threatening them. I saw that one. Let's see. Trinity Chin says, so Diddy out here groping ladies and he walking free. She have have an overdue rental and gets locked up. Yeah, sometimes literally the punishment doesn't fit the crime about what's going on. So Mimi said she uses her mm, MI. Did you mean mental
Mental
illness,
illness.
Mimi?
Yeah, mental
As a
illness.
crutch, as a crutch weapon against the law to be handled differently. She flipped on the airport employees too. Tita says, sounds like she was just renting the truck and traveling with the truck like it was hers. Yeah, I really think that she was living in that truck. I think that's what was going on. Tita also goes on to say she had just had the truck too long. Benicia said, very sad if that was her situation. Tita also says, yeah, her husband was on some of the shows on YouTube. Wow, divorce. Mimi says, at first, I thought she was falsely reported for not returning the rental truck like some of these rental car companies have done people. Then Mimi goes on to say she was taken to the mental institution last year for a few days, weeks, etc. And then, welcome, Betty Green. Welcome on in. Betty Green says, yes, Jaguar is out. Uh, Tita's chiming in saying that Texas is bogus. Danicia says Goomba, her husband, he has made his rounds on YouTube as well after they broke up. And let's see. Tita says Charleston White did that to her, I bet. Did what, Tita? Bessie says she's bonded out and they say she has a real lawyer. Mimi goes on to say that live was awful. Tita also says, please believe if Diddy was in Dallas, his butt would be locked up.
Okay, because we hunt.
Okay. Ah, Texas ain't gonna play about all that, huh? Okay, thank you so much for that information once again. Thank you so
you
much.
you're welcome. So I'm out, y'all. Wish me luck.
Okay, have a good catch.
Have
Have
a
a good
good one,
catch.
Cassandra.
Thanks. Bye, ladies.
Bye. So let's see. So now we're gonna go back to a few little things that I did look up on her. So let's share those and just see what people are talking about. So let me share my screen. Wow, Mimi said allegedly there was a 25K award for turning her in. Wow. I just can't imagine a woman feeling just like you're wanted like that. Like, oh man, that's crazy. So it says
Hey,
Jaguar
Day
Wright
Day.
arrested. Hey, Day Day. Jaguar Wright arrested in Dallas for alleged theft of property. So let's see what this article is saying. It says in recent months, Jaguar Wright has been making headlines for making shocking claims about several of her celebrity peers. She's taken aim at the likes of Diddy, Beyonce, Jay Z, Justin Bieber, and more. She even recently alleged that she once saw a sex tape of Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. That's what we talked about the other day in the show. Obviously, this is unconfirmed, but got social media users listening nonetheless. It says, unfortunately, however, it was recently reported that the songstress is now behind bars. And of course, we've reported that she was released, according to a post by the Neighborhood Talk on Instagram. She was booked in Dallas earlier today. Legal docs obtained by the outlet show that she's being accused of theft of property between 30K and 150K, a third degree felony in Texas. Let's see, anything else? It says further details, and this is just some of what Cassandra showed us. It says, yeah, it says further details surrounding Wright's arrest are not available at the time of writing, though it's rumored that she was taken into custody for allegedly failing to return a U-Haul truck. Of course, social media users also have plenty of theories. Twitter X is currently flooded with demands for authorities to free her and with outlandish rumors about who could possibly be behind this. Again, these aren't confirmed, but will likely continue until fans get their hands on more info. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time Wrights found herself at odds with the law. In January of last year, she was arrested for an alleged domestic dispute with her husband. He shared footage of her arrest online, as well as some details of the alleged altercation. He accused her of confronting him alongside an ex cult member named Solar at a barbershop, assaulting him, and throwing some of her son's ashes out of a car. What do you think of Jaguar Wright getting arrested today? What about the songstress getting accused of theft of property? So, yeah, Yeah, so that's that story there. Now, let me go here. Because, like I said, I just, like I said, I had one encounter with her on a show on another platform, but I honestly, outside of being a name back in the past with singing, I really had no knowledge of what this woman had, is all about and what she's been doing, um, kind of since the decline of her singing career.
Hey,
So this one,
amazing.
hey Meek, how are you? So this says hip hop conspiracy. Is Jaguar right to be taken seriously? And what about Gene Deal and Cat Williams while we're at it? So it says it's possible for someone to speak some truth, but not always speak truth. Jaguar Wright does not come across as entirely credible to me. Gene Deal probably saw a lot of ish, and I don't think he's lying. I just can't understand how Diddy hasn't taken him out before now. And Cat Williams seems to be grifting into the conspiracy space and doesn't come across as entirely credible. What's your read on this hip hop entertainment conspiracy space? Um, so someone says, and then I'll just like read one or so of these. Someone says there's some underlying truth to what the Jaguars and Jeans of the world say, but it's much of what the average hip hop fan would be able to tell you, though they hurt their credibility by going off the rails with their ducktail stories. And that's what I really believe. It's like just as I said earlier on this show, it's like I think you know some things, but you muddy it when you throw things in that really don't come across as being truthful at all. It's like you're trying to conflate the story just to make it more and draw people more to you. And I think a lot of it is to draw yourself to certain platforms where you can ask them for money or allow, if they allow you to post your cash up so that you can get donations and things like that. And look, one of the funniest things I have heard is on another platform, I guess she felt like, the cash apps weren't coming in quick enough or at all. And she said, my cash app ain't cash apping. It was the funniest thing I ever heard, but it kind of let you know the space that she was in. So I'm like, okay, this is just something that she does for money, you know? And you have some people, we do have a lot of conspiracy theorists and people that want to believe and dig deeper into things and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, like I said, you kind of have to read between the lines to me in regard to what she says to say, okay, what about this or what about what she's saying could possibly be credible? And that's just it for me. Not blindly following something that she says, or basically anyone, that's with anyone. You can't just blindly follow something that someone says. You have to kind of, take your time with it, digest it, think about it, and see what the facts are and things like that. And I just really think that's the thing with Jaguar. I
Hey,
just really think. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Gangsta Granny. Oh,
hey,
let me
Gigi.
yeah, let me tell you, you guys. Gangsta Granny has her first show tomorrow. At I know for me, I believe it said 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that will be 7 Eastern Standard Time, you guys. And let's just go over and show our genuine support of Gangsta Granny jumping off her channel and see what she has to present to us, the people. You know, I believe it's going to be about Diddy versus King Academics. So it's definitely going to be a great conversation. I know that I'll be in the building supporting, and hopefully you guys will as well. Okay? Put your link, Granny. Put your link in there. Okay, so let's go off of that. And I have a little video that I'm going to play. Let's take a look at this, you guys. And please pay attention. I did speed it up a little bit, just so we don't have the whole verbatim thing and having it sound the same. And even if I stop, it's only a 12-minute video, but even if I stop for some commentary, and let's give a shout out to the channel I found that we're sharing this from. It's called Just Happen. Okay, so let's take a look. It says Jaguar Wright exposes official list of actors and rappers who attended freak off parties. So let's see what they're talking about here, you guys.
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z.
Patrick Clark, the man charged in the murder of Migos rapper Takeoff, is due in court tomorrow. Authorities say he was seen on camera firing.
I feel like we have a lot of pressure on us. So I feel like as women, we should just always uplift each other because we always going through something.
And it was almost like, it was playful. It was also almost like, man, he's coming. He's coming.
You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case.
Allegations against Jay-Z. All right, let's dive into this juicy gossip about Jay-Z and the wild accusations swirling around him. Jaguar Wright, known for stirring up controversy, has dropped a shocker claiming that Jay-Z has been pulling some seriously shady moves in the music industry. According to Wright, Jay-Z isn't just your average rapper turned mogul. He's allegedly been playing some real-life Game of Thrones to secure his spot at the top. So what's the tea? Well, Wright points fingers at Jay-Z, accusing him of being the puppet master behind the untimely demises of some notable names in the rap game. Takeoff, Big L, Nipsey Hussle, and Pimp C are all on her hit list of alleged victims. According to Wright, these weren't just tragic accidents or random acts of violence. They were part of Jay-Z's master plan to maintain his dominance in the music biz. Now, before you go grabbing your pitchforks, let's break this down. Wright's claims imply that Jay-Z didn't just stumble upon success, he allegedly orchestrated it.
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z.
Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D-Haven, stole his life and identity.
By eliminating potential threats or competition through these alleged demises, Jay-Z supposedly created a smoother path for himself in the cutthroat world of hip-hop.
Candace, you're on mute.
Thank you, Tamika, because I'm steady talking. So I just wanted to pause for a quick question. Do you guys think that the people that she's throwing out here, the names that she's throwing out, because some, like I said, I I really think that there's truth to all these that she had dealings with in the past. It's just really when for me, it's just when she's touching on these recent people, it's like, I know you have not been in their space. I know you have not been sitting around with Justin Bieber talking. It's like I don't believe that. But I just wanted to put it out here. Hey Coco, welcome to the panel. I just
Hey,
want to put it out
Coco.
here.
Hey.
Do you think that the people that she's pointing out had something to do with the downfall of her career? I just want to put that out there as a question. So let's go back to the video.
Like something straight out of a mob movie, except with platinum records instead of guns. But hold up, because things get even more scandalous. Wright suggests that Jay-Z wasn't just in it for the street cred, he had some serious business motives too. By eliminating rivals, he could strengthen his grip on the industry, whether it was by signing lucrative deals or gaining more control over artists and their careers. It's a chilling thought, imagining such Machiavellian tactics at play behind the scenes of the music we love. Now let's pump the brakes for a second. These are just allegations, folks. There's no concrete evidence to support Wright's claims, and Jay-Z has adamantly denied any involvement in such sinister schemes. But hey, in the world of celebrity gossip and industry drama, anything's possible, right? So as we sip our tea and await the next chapter in this unfolding saga, one thing's for sure, the hip-hop world is never short on drama, and whether these allegations are fact or fiction, they've certainly got everyone talking.
Finally, we have part one of our exclusive interview with music mogul Sean Jay-Z Carter.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly.
You know, record labels would probably say, yo, you need a big hit. You need this. Let's go get.
Because ain't nobody stopping me when I come. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case.
Takeoff's tragic demise. All right, we're diving into the murky water surrounding Takeoff's tragic demise. A dice game organized by Jazz Prince, a figure known for his connections in the music industry. Sounds like a typical night out, right? Well, not exactly. Rumors have been just trying to unwind and have a good time, finds himself caught in the crossfire of chaos. And who's at the center of it all? None other than Jazz Prince, orchestrating the event like a sinister puppet master. But wait, it gets even juicier. Jaguar Wright, never one to shy away from controversy, drops a shocker implicating Jay-Z and his Rock Nation cronies in Takeoff's untimely demise.
Meanwhile, in Houston, a jeweler is coming forward with new surveillance video from the night Takeoff died.
Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? He wants to be the one.
He tells 11 Alive Takeoff, Quavo, and their entourage stopped by his store just hours before that shooting.
According to her, this wasn't just a tragic accident, it was part of a larger, more sinister plot. So what's the deal? Well, according to Wright, Jay-Z wasn't content with just dominating the music charts. He allegedly had his sights set on total industry domination, and he wasn't afraid to play dirty to get there. By eliminating potential threats like Takeoff, Jay-Z could tighten his grip on the rap game and squash any competition that dared to challenge his reign. Now, before you start crafting your conspiracy theories, let's pump the brakes for a second. These are just allegations, folks. There's no concrete evidence to support Wright's claims, and both Jay-Z and Rock Nation have vehemently denied any involvement in Takeoff's demise. But hey, in the world of hip-hop, where egos are as big as the beats, anything's possible, right? As we mourn the loss of Takeoff and grapple with the unanswered questions surrounding his demise, things for sure.
So she tried to put the death of Takeoff on Jay-Z? I had never heard that. I had never heard that. So, okay.
She
Let's
links
go.
it. She links it back to him. I've watched a few of Jaguar's videos, and according to her, at some
Mhm.
point in time, she was in a relationship or or maybe a situationship with Jay Z, and she actually says that he's worse than Diddy
Wow.
in terms of abuse. Um, yeah, there are a lot of videos out there with Jaguar talking about Jay Z, but what I don't understand about her, especially if she's in any type of a financial situation, is why she hasn't sued, if that's the case.
Right, right.
I refuse to report on it until I see some concrete evidence, but they say that everything that she said about Diddy came true. Like, so there could be
But
a
see, the
lot
thing
of
about that,
proof
the thing
in
about
what
it
she
with
said.
Diddy, yeah, the thing about it with Diddy is that from the time frame that she's been around, I believe she knows some of that information. I I'm not saying that I don't believe anything that the woman has to say, but I do look at time frames, for her involvement and her knowledge of what she's speaking about. But Diddy's been we know that there are reports that Diddy has been doing this for years, going back to the 90s when she came out and was around. So honestly, I don't doubt that she has some factual information that she knows about Diddy. I don't doubt that at all. It's just it's for me, once again, it's just when she tries to bring up these newer artists. I I really don't believe you have been in any type of celebrity space with them. I don't. I just don't believe that. But I'm not saying that I don't believe everything that she says. Okay. All right. Let me get to a couple comments before we get back to the video. So now Tita is a believer. Tita says, Candy, if she's been to the parties and she's trying to save them, why wouldn't she be there? Okay. Sharon says, I always thought Diddy and Jay Z had a hand with Nipsey's unaliving. And Tita is agreeing with Sharon. Let's see. Mimi says she believes Jay Z has a hand in everyone's demise. Uh, Danicia said, I just wish she had stuck to the truth. Yeah, because if you had stuck to the truth or whatever, then I would be more likely to lend some credibility to what she's saying. Gangster Granny said Jay-Z better lay low. And Amazingly Meek says, but why now though? Mimi is agreeing with Danicia. Okay, there we go. And Tita says Jaguar is the live Simpsons, everything coming to light. Okay. All right, so we caught up with the comments, you guys. Let's get back to the video.
Hip hop world can be a dangerous place, where fame and fortune often come at a steep price. And whether or not there's any truth to these allegations, they've certainly shone a spotlight on the darker side of the industry.
Patrick Clark, the man charged in the murder of Migos rapper Takeoff, is due in court tomorrow. Authorities say he was seen on camera firing.
Patrick Clark is the man Houston police have charged with murder. On Senate tomorrow, Clark will formally go before a judge in a court appearance with his attorney here over a month. He allegedly had plans to leave the country. Houston police say the 28-year-old Takeoff and Quavo were at a private party. Police said the party ended around 1 a.m. The group gathered outside for more than an hour after the party ended.
Dice game controversy. Let's shine a spotlight on Jazz Prince and the dice game controversy that's got tongues wagging in Houston. Jazz Prince, a well-known figure in the music industry, is hosting these high-stakes dice games that are more like scenes from a gangster movie than a night out on the town. But here's the kicker. It's not all fun and games. These events come with a hefty price tag for protection, and rumors suggest they're a breeding ground for violence and tragedy. Now let's zoom in on Takeoff's tragic demise, which happened at one of these dice games. Cue the speculation and conspiracy theories. Was it just a random act of violence, or was there something more sinister at play? Questions swirl around the safety and legitimacy of these events, especially when they're organized by industry bigwigs like Jazz Prince. Some say they're nothing more than a front for shady dealings, while others believe they're just harmless fun. But when tragedy strikes, it's hard not to wonder if there's more to the story. So what's the deal with Jazz Prince and his dice games? Well, it's no secret that he's got connections in the music industry, and some say he uses these events to flex his power and influence. But at what cost? With rumors of exploitation and violence, it's clear that these dice games aren't your average night out. They're a high-stakes gamble where the odds are stacked against you. As the spotlight shines on Jazz Prince and his controversial gatherings, one thing's for sure, the hip-hop world is watching closely. Whether these events are just harmless fun or something more sinister remains to be seen. But one thing's for certain, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. And until the truth comes to light, the dice will keep rolling and the controversy will continue to simmer. Megan Thee Stallion's career. Let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion and how she might be caught up in the tangled web of industry politics. Jaguar Wright dropped some shocking accusations linking Jay-Z to conflicts in Megan Thee Stallion's career.
Not only as actors and actresses, but behind the scenes, producers, writers, all that. I'm like, I can do that too. I feel like we have a lot of pressure on us. So I feel like as women, we should just always uplift each other because we're always going through something. I feel like I really wanted to get my degree, not just for myself. I really wanted to get it for my mom and my grandma. And I feel like they should be able to see another side of me. Besides being the hot girl coach, I really want to become a director.
According to Wright, Jay-Z wasn't just minding his own business. He allegedly had his hands in Megan's career, pulling strings behind the scenes. Now, here's where things get interesting. Wright suggests that Jay-Z's alleged actions weren't just about advancing his own interests. They were part of a larger power play involving industry heavyweights like Jay Prince. The implication? Megan Thee Stallion might be just a pawn in a much bigger game where industry disputes and personal agendas collide. But hold up, because we're just scratching the surface here. Wright's claims hint at a deeper network of manipulation within the music industry, where artists like Megan Thee Stallion are at the mercy of powerful figures pulling the strings. It's a chilling thought, imagining such Machiavellian tactics at play in an industry built on creativity and self-expression. So what does this mean for Megan Thee Stallion and her career? Well, it's hard to say for sure. On one hand, she's a talented artist with a bright future ahead of her. But on the other hand, if Wright's allegations are true, she might be facing an uphill battle against forces beyond her control. As the spotlight shines on Megan Thee Stallion and the shady dealings of the music industry, one thing's for sure. The truth is stranger than fiction. And until we get to the bottom of this tangled web of industry politics, we'll never know who's pulling the strings behind the scenes. Untimely demises in hip-hop. Let's shine a light on the darker side of hip-hop, where untimely demises paint a troubling picture of power dynamics and exploitation. A string of tragedies rocked the hip-hop world, leaving fans and insiders scratching their heads and asking some tough questions. Now let's zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture. The hip-hop industry isn't just about flashy beats and chart-topping hits. It's also a high-stakes game where competition is fierce and the stakes are sky-high.
Many times on the tour, but honestly, when I walked in this room and just take a look at all of the visuals of you up there.
And it was almost like, it was playful. It was also almost like, man, he's coming, he's coming. So the first song I made for this album, Streets was Watching, that's the last song I played for Biggie.
Hard
It's
Knock
the most
Life.
important album because it was the album where I honed my craft as a songwriter.
But as Jaguar Wright's allegations suggest, there's a darker side to this world, where jealousy and rivalry can lead to tragic outcomes for artists. So what's really going on here? Well, it's hard to say for sure, but one thing's for certain, the hip-hop world is no stranger to controversy. From feuds between artists to behind-the-scenes power struggles, there's always something brewing beneath the surface. Now let's talk about Wright's allegations. According to her, these untimely demises aren't just random tragedies, they're part of a larger pattern of exploitation and manipulation within the music industry. It's a chilling thought, imagining such sinister motives at play in an industry built on creativity and self-expression. But here.
Okay, let's take a pause there. That was a mouthful said. And look, the comments, let's catch up with the comments. So Tita comes in and says, Candy, why you think none of these hothead youngish ain't come for her? I don't think it's because she's necessarily speaking the truth. I think they just think she's a crazy old lady. That's my opinion. I think they just think she's unhinged and she's crazy and nobody is paying any attention to her because, they're like, this lady is just trying to stay relevant and all she is doing is just coming on YouTube and they see what she's doing. It's like sometimes you can discredit yourself. Even if you have some truth to tell, you can discredit yourself just by being a liar and lying and adding on and stuff like that. So Bessie says, Gloria is attached to Jay-Z through Gotti. Who's Gloria? Bessie? Who's Gloria, you guys? Okay, Mrs. DeReal said, I'm with you, Candy. I just don't believe hardly anything she says. Sorry. And hey, Miss Sip and Talk, how are you, lady? Sip and Talk,
Hey,
you gotta
Miss Sip
come up.
and Talk.
Yes, Sip and Talk, you gotta come up when you get a chance because look, I saw something about your network in my stream, and you gotta tell everybody about that. So Bessie also comes back and says, I believe her. She makes a lot of sense. Gangster Granny says, Jag was speaking facts. You could tell she was a sidetrack for real. I don't know. I got that. I think that's a little messed up. Clarify that in the chat, Granny. Okay, so Mrs. DeReal said, she just gives me manic and mental. She reminds me of one of my psych patients every time she speaks, child. Sorry, God forgive me, but it's a no for me when it comes to her, period. I definitely feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. Donicia says, I agree, Candy. I don't believe her stories on the newer artists. Yes. Gangster Granny says, cutting the F up. What did Meg say? Tita's agreeing once again with Bessie. Talking about, yes, Bessie. Sharon said, nothing is a friendly event with the Prince family. The dad have close ties with Jay-Z. Jay-Z used to come to a lot before he was really famous. Okay. Mrs. DeReal says, there might be a tiny bit of truth to her claims based off her memory of certain things she may have experienced when she was in the music game, but I don't know. Kind of hard to tell with her. And that's kind of where I'm at, Mr. Real. I believe some of the older artists, people that be, like Diddy, we're just using him as an example. She was around, she was fresh, she was in that music industry at that time. So I know that she has seen things in that time frame. But it's just when we get to these newer artists that she's commenting on and touching her mouth, like, yeah, y'all really think she knows Sexy Red? To comment on anything Sexy Red's doing. Y'all
I
really
feel
believe
like
that?
she's not in their generation to know Sexy Red. Like she's not in the algorithm like that to know them.
Yes,
Like
that's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm like, she sets herself up to be called a liar because we know you are not in that space with these young artists to know what's going on with them. And I'm sticking by that. I'm maintaining that. So yeah, we could tussle about it in the chat. See that engaged to Granny. Bessie. Okay, so let's see. Mimi says, Mimi says she's got the same access as everyone else with social media. With enough time on her hands, she can study content long enough to ad lib, in my opinion. We know artists face industry politics. Some never bounce back. And you hit the nail on the mother effing head with that comment. She knows as much as any of us know, you guys. That's what needs. Look, think about. Let me put it to you like this. Let me put it to you like this. I'm gonna give y'all a prime example. Think about all the people that just feel with all their hearts that they know exactly what's going on with Krishan, and you don't know Krishan the first. But to some of these people out here, they will have you believe they know every intricate part of Krishan's mentality, what she thinks, what she does, and all you really know is what Krishan chooses to show you. And that's it, and that's all. But there are people that will make up a whole lot of stuff and think they are on the inside loop of every move Krishan is making just by what she chooses to show you on social media. Now, that's that's kind of tying into what Mimi is saying. She knows as Jaguar Wright knows as much as I know or you know by looking at social media. And then people believe her just a little bit because she had what was really, in the grand scheme of things, she had a fleeting experience with celebrity herself. Now, and I hate that for her if someone sabotaged her career. That's awful to do to somebody. But you know, let's let's see. Now, Sip and Talk is saying a lot of what she said has turned out to be true. Okay. So let's see. Donicia is agreeing with Mimi. Donicia said boom at Mimi, right. Amazingly Meek says, let's see. Amazingly Meek says she gives me bitter she didn't make it and she's mad at Jay-Z because he didn't support her. And that could be true as well. That definitely could be true as well. Let's see. Voracious One said, honestly, a lot of what she says is true. The problem is a lot of people don't believe her due to her delivery. It was not hard to party with these people being from NY. Okay. And let's see. Bessie says the young not coming for her because they probably seeing what she's talking about with the industry. That's a possibility as well. Voracious One said, the new people I don't know. The older people I know she's talking facts. We both know. Gangsta Granny says, everyone thinks she's nuts, but it's some truth to it. Tita says, now y'all gonna put her in the same category as China. Oh God. Mrs. DeVille says, like you said, Candy, once you start with that exaggerated truth like her, Charleston White and Carlisa, it definitely makes it hard to believe anything you say. But child, I can't. Once you lie to me, that's right. Mimi says she's actually an interesting storyteller. She's not dumb at all. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, y'all. Let's see. Let's see. I definitely want to finish this video up. Let's see.
Here's the thing, until we have concrete evidence to support these claims, they're just speculation. And while they may add fuel to the fire of conspiracy theories, they also raise important questions about the darker side of the music business. As the hip-hop community grapples with these unsettling revelations, one thing's for sure, the truth is out there waiting to be uncovered. And until we confront the uncomfortable realities of power and exploitation in the music industry, these tragedies will continue to haunt us, casting a shadow over the bright lights of the hip-hop world. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.
Okay, you guys. So let's see. Like I said, I have a couple of things up. Okay. Let me see what's on here that I want to go over. You guys, we're getting towards the end of our show. So if there's anything else you want to talk about, throw it in the chat. Or if you have any last comments about what we're talking about today. Now, I'm just going to run through this. I'm not going to go into depth with them, but I just want to run them down. So they're stating these are Jaguar Wright's wildest music industry gossip stories. So these are the things that she's saying that is, basically shocking the internet. So it says Jaguar Wright caused shockwaves with her allegations about some of the music industry's biggest stars. Here are some of her wildest claims. Now it says, it's not really, it says number 3. Where's 1 and 2? But number 3, the one about Diddy being an alleged unaliver. Okay? And we all know there are plenty of rumors about him concerning that. Oh, here's number 2. Looks like it's all out of order. Number 2, the one about Common allegedly SAing her. Have you guys heard that story? Yeah, I ain't even trying to get into that. And number 1, the one about the Roots allegedly helping R. Kelly recruit underage girls. Yep, these are just some of the stories, you guys. Some of the stories. Now, let me see what this one was. This is a video. So here, let me see what's going on with this video.
I was just saying, hey.
Hey, Angel, how are you, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
Better since the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. Well, they talking about you, girl. They talking about you.
You got the world on lock, Jack.
Yeah, definitely got the world on lock.
Okay, well, we're gonna go. Are you ready?
Yeah,
You get into it?
of course.
All right. Real life street stars. We here, Jack.
Y'all see
I have
Jag
to
got
ask
her
you,
cash
how
up.
are you feeling right now? You personally, how are you feeling?
Honestly, I'm numb. It's good to be in Cali with my folks right now.
Right.
I haven't seen most of these people since my son passed away in 2018. See, I was planning to move Giovanni out here so he could start his grow house and start his own strand. And he got arrested in Philly.
Huh.
So we moved to Dallas. Isn't that funny? That one choice led me here.
Yeah, I'm glad that you came here.
So am I. But I come back to LA and I'm walking around Leimert Park. I'm thinking of all my shows that I did at Mavericks Flats. And oh man, we gotta do better by our people, bro. All of this abuse that people are now discovering has been happening in front of their faces for all of this time. The reason why they're so outraged is because they're now realizing that they helped finance it.
Yeah.
See, the people who should be most appalled are the fans. Because not once did you ever say, this record company won't get another dollar of our money until we know why Aaliyah is gone. Can you imagine if all of Aaliyah's fans had stopped buying anything that came out of that label? That would have been powerful, wouldn't it?
Man, powerful.
And yet it didn't happen. And her death still has not been properly investigated. Now, I want everybody to think about what I just said, and I want you to go and look at that footage of the diddler ragdolling Cassie and fucking punching her like a football. While you're at it, ask yourself how many times that happened to me. I
So
wasn't crying for Cassie. I was crying because I remember what those kicks feel like. I too have been punted. You should be ashamed of yourselves. And all of you bitches that won't speak, I hope you get charged right with them as an accessory before, during, or after each crime. Because every bitch that's been around Diddy seen Diddy beat a bitch. Period.
so we've seen Diddy do a public apology.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
What's my thought? You just did a statement a month ago saying you never done nothing like that. Now you say different? How illuminating. When was you lying? When you said you never done nothing like that after you got shown doing it? It must suck to know that Jay-Z is most likely paying for all of this to be done to you. You little booty hole brother. Fucking thing one and thing two.
Did
They
he
are psychopaths. And they've been working together for the better part of 25 years. They collect victims, they compete, and they claim their prizes. You know, there was a movie called Kiss the Girls. Do you remember that with Morgan Freeman and
No, I definitely
Kim
remember that.
Judd?
Yep.
And remember, they were looking for the Casanova unaliver, the serial killer. And as they went into their investigation, they started seeing that certain crimes were mirroring one another. Two different styles. Same hunt, same kill. They came to find out that it was two of them working, mirror, competing. One type of woman grabbed one way, same type of woman grabbed another way on the other side of the country.
Okay, you guys. I'm not gonna play all of this, but she's definitely getting into her, her theories and things like that. I'm not gonna necessarily call them conspiracy theories, but she's getting into her theories and things like that. So, oh my goodness, this has been an interesting show, and let's see. Yes, thank you for coming through, Bessie. Come back again. I try to always be consistent and come on at as soon as I get off work, 6:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. So yeah, come back again next time you have a chance. Let me get to these comments. Denicia says, "Have you guys ever seen when she changes character? She has a Valley voice, a Southern voice, a Texas, and a Philly voice. Mental illness is real." Okay. Tita says, I need to find out who knows her here so I can chat with her so called crazy butt. She moves around like she does so nobody can pinpoint her moves, especially exposing all that she has. I would. Okay. Let's see. Mimi is responding to Donicia, says, yes, ma'am, D. Scott. She has admitted to being in his presence. So that should include her going down too. Tita says, in U-Haul also, and keep telling it all, 100. Okay, you guys. Now, I forgot to remind you guys, if you didn't hit the like button on your way in, please take a moment to hit it now. I definitely appreciate that. So we're about to get out of here for the evening. It's definitely been interesting. I told you guys we were just doing we're just dipping our toes into Jaguar Wright. We're not doing a deep dive, but we just wanted to keep abreast of, where she's at right now and just look into her a little bit. I'm sure now that she's out, she's probably going to have plenty to say, or I don't know, because she's out. It looks like she's out on bail. You never know. She may have to stay quiet about what's going on with her with this particular incident. So, regardless, look, if the woman needs mental help, we definitely want her to get that. And especially if she's in a predicament where you are living out of that U-Haul and you needed that, and that's why you didn't turn it in because you were utilizing that as shelter. That's very sad. And hopefully she can get some assistance, to get on her feet and things like that. I mean, hey, look, I've seen, you know, look, it's the thing. It's the trend, She's really not doing anything that a lot of other people aren't doing as well in regards to, wanting to be paid. We see China does it. A lot of Krishan sisters do it, things of that nature. So it's definitely nothing new. We're used to seeing that. But, if she's really mentally ill and she needs some assistance, I definitely hope she gets that. Like I said, even with me seeing that doesn't mean that I'm throwing everything she says out the window. I definitely think there's a touch of truth to the things that she says. But like I said, you lose me when you are adding on, doing the whole adding on thing. So, you know, best of luck to Jaguar Wright, you guys. Tomorrow, I don't, I hang kind of loose on Saturdays because look, I like to, look, I stay up late on Friday nights, I don't know what time I want to do a show tomorrow. Could be in the daytime, something like that. And honestly, depending on what's going on tonight, I don't know. We could come back tonight. You just never know, you know. Um, Tamika, what do we have going on with the Twitch tonight?
What y'all want to watch? Ooh, am I echoing?
No
Am I
echo, girl.
echoing?
You just came on loud, but no echo.
What y'all want to watch?
Yes, if you have some recommendations, y'all put them in the chat. Because we will. Thank you for the super chat, Coco. I
Thank you,
appreciate you.
Coco.
Okay, so we're gonna be going over to Tamika's for some Twitch tonight. We watch shows, movies, things like that. We have a good time. Coco left. I don't know if she's going live tonight or not. If you are, Coco, put it in the chat. Like I said, don't know what time. Make sure you guys have your notifications on. But another reminder, Gangsta Granny will be having her very first show tomorrow. So hopefully you guys can show up and support that. Turn your notifications on and we will see you over there for sure. I believe it's 8 a.m. Central, 8 p.m. Excuse me, Central Standard Time, my time, so 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And look, I don't know all these other time zones. But.
Coco says she have a show tonight.
Okay, Coco has a show tonight. Where is the info? So are we going over there now?
She's streaming Ghost Voracious.
Okay, thank you so much, Denise. Look, Denise, I'm so glad. Once again, thank you so much for your support. It's been a lot of BS going on, but look, I'm not really for all that. And thank you guys for all your support and coming over. And thank you for coming out the bushes, Danicia.
Yes,
And
thank
have a
you so
great one.
much.
Yeah, entertaining and drama free. Just how I like it. Let's see. So it's
And
like
she's active.
yes, Tita said she will be on the tube soon. I bet she says Charleston had a hand in it. The victims can never be believed, I see. Okay.
Oh, Coco said 10 p.m. Eastern time, so about 45 minutes.
Okay, so you guys, who's streaming Ghost?
I could stream it if Coco's not streaming it.
That old movie Ghost?
Huh?
What y'all talking about? Oh, The Power from last night. Look, look, you hear me talking about that old movie Ghost? Look.
Oh, we could stream that though.
Okay, so you guys, Coco is going live at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you guys, we have another spot to go roll on through. And you guys have a wonderful remainder of your night. Once again, thank you so much for coming through. If you didn't hit the like button on your way out, please, on your way in, please hit it on your way out. And if you have a moment or two, can you leave a quick little comment? I definitely would appreciate it. And it helps the channel grow. Thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful remainder of your night. I'll see y'all at Coco Show and on the Twitch. Any last words, Tamika?
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you guys later, you guys. Bye.